God bless you, Bernard.
You know what? I've been doing this a while, and it's been a while since I have done made that mistake and been on mute. What's up, everybody? I am Bernard Damon Holcomb. I am the creator and the host of the Damon Speaks show. Welcome to our season 1 finale. This is the 33rd episode of the first season of the Damon Speaks show. Now, I have been doing motivational online content for the past 5 years, and it's gone through many different ways of being, right? So at first it was a minute or shorter just on Instagram, then it traveled over to Facebook and Instagram, and then it became a little bit more long form content. And then we went through a period of dry spell where there wasn't a lot of things happening, but then people wouldn't let me quit. God, the universe, source wouldn't let me quit. People would come up to me and say, "Hey, I haven't seen your videos," or "Hey, thank you." I would be in a bar. I was in a bar in Harlem one time, and a woman that I did not know came up to me, and she was like, "Oh my God, you're Damon Speaks," and I was like, "Yeah, why? Yes, I am." So I am so pleased to be here with you tonight. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your support. We always love to interact with you in the comments. So if you're tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know if you have any comments. We would love to interact with you on this final show. So we're going to take a break for the summer. And you will see us back in October with brand new season 2. We've got some exciting things burning, some exciting things cooking, and we cannot wait. But we just need a little break. Sometimes we need a little break. You can always find the show on my Facebook page. You can find it on the Damon Speaks page by searching for Damon Speaks. You can find it on my professional page, Bernard Holcomb, by searching Bernard Holcomb. If you're my friend on Facebook, you can find it on the Bernard Damon Holcomb Facebook profile. Bernard Damon Holcomb on Instagram, BD Holcomb on Twitter, Bernard Damon Holcomb on Twitch, also the Damon Speaks show on YouTube. So we're gonna open up with a little meme. I wanted to open up with a meme tonight that kind of describes what my life has been and what I've been going through over the last, I would say, month. I've been having some mental health challenges, and it's been difficult. As much as I'm positive, as much as I'm a motivator, as much as I want to bring you the best of me, it's still difficult because I talk about vulnerability a lot. That's one of the basis of the show. But it's been hard for me to be vulnerable about my struggles. And there are several reasons why, right? So I have lots of supportive friends, people that have been praying for me, and there's been people that I've kind of felt some type of way because my phone is perpetually on do not disturb. I'm not talking as much, but I needed this time to go through. I needed this time to come back to me. I needed this time to get back into alignment and get back into purpose with who I am. It's easy, huh? It's so easy for us to fall out of alignment. It's so easy for us to follow a path that may not be the best for us and that kind of veers us off. I don't think that it's ever a bad thing for us to veer off because those things inevitably lead us back to where we're supposed to be. However, I love this first meme I saw and I knew I had to bring it on the show. It says, I recover loudly so that others don't have to suffer silently. So when I talk about anxiety, when I talk about depression, when I talk about a childhood that was less than ideal, when I talk about low self-worth, when I talk about an empty cup, when I talk about heartbreak, I talk about it because it may help someone else. It may help someone else that's struggling, even if they don't see it now when it's live. They may see it on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch or Twitter or Instagram. They may see it. And if they do see it, I have evidence of this because people tell me all the time that I have helped them. If one person sees it, then my job is done. Of course, I can, continue to try to present something to you and put up this face that's always smiling and always happy, but that's just not my reality. There are people that are content creators. There are people that are on social media that is a thing for. That is their business. That is the way that they exist in the world. But I would rather be more honest. I would rather let you see the cracks in the pottery. I would rather let you see my faults because then you'll know that even though you have faults, even though you've made mistakes, even though you're not perfect, you're still worthy. Even though you've done bad things in the past, and you're probably going to do bad things in the future, you're still worthy, you're still loved, and you deserve good things. A lot of times we keep ourselves in situations, we keep ourselves feeling badly. We don't forgive ourselves and we don't forgive others because we feel bad, because we don't think that we deserve to be happy. We don't think that we deserve to have anything good, but that's a lie. It's an absolute lie. So as I'm recovering from anxiety and depression and all the myriad of things that I'm going through right now, I will continue to bring you the content. Hey, Tiberius, thank you, brother. It's good to see you. Thank you for your love and your support and for always watching the Damon Speaks show. I will continue to recover loudly and I will continue to combat the thought in my mind that people are going to think I'm crazy, that people are not going to watch the show, blah, 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 so that you don't have to suffer silently, so that you will know that we're all in this together. We have a great show planned for you tonight. It may not be very long. I sent out an email a few days ago inviting several of my guests that have been on the show this season to come through. And there is one guest in the waiting room that I want to introduce to you all. She was actually my first guest on the very first episode of the Damon Speaks show this past October. I would love to introduce everyone to Hortensia Gooding. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Damon, Bernard. Hey.
Hey.
What's good?
What's good, boo boo?
Not everything is everything, darling.
Huh?
How's the boogie down? It's hot in Harlem.
Right. It's hot. Honey. Conditioner's running and I'm still hot.
See, listen.
Now, you were my very first guest on this season of the Damon Speaks show, and you were actually in the studio. You were in my bedroom. We had lights, camera, action.
Ooh.
We started with our masks on. It was during the pandemic, but I really tell you that I appreciate you and I love you for showing up for me. You took a train from Harlem all the way to the Bronx. It was raining, and not only did we record one episode that night, we recorded the first episode. No, we did the first episode live, and then we recorded the second episode, which was like an hour and a half long.
That's right.
So thank you. I appreciate you for showing up tonight. Cody, is there anyone else in the waiting room? Okay. Oh, okay. So we thought that that the audience would be able to hear Cody tonight, but he's still working on it. So okay, they can hear
There
you.
it is. Hi, Cody.
Hey, Cody, producer realness. I'm also watching my phone on Facebook. Usually I have this on Instagram, but Instagram has been acting up lately. So I will also be able to see your comments on Facebook tonight. And I think this is really great because it has the captions. Like Facebook is captioning this because I have it on mute. And it's pretty accurate. Also, hello to Hortensia's friends. I think we're also going live from her Facebook, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes. Captions are auto-generated. Yeah. Ooh, I see me. Hi, me.
Okay, so let's get into these memes. We have, I think, 4 more memes that I want to talk about, and I want to get you guys' like opinions on them, like we always do on the Damon Speak Show. Okay, so let's get into these memes. We have, I think, 4 more memes that I want to talk about. You have to mute it.
I did.
Okay, so this one says, another day has passed and I still haven't used my y equals mx plus b.
Another decade has passed, and I still have not used my y equals mx plus b.
Listen, math is not my forte. Math is not
right.
I struggled through algebra, and thank God I never had to take calculus. But I'm angry. Like, why did I have to struggle through algebra when I never use it?
You know, I still use my hands to, you know, count certain numbers. What's 5 plus 9? Like, by the way, I figured out the audio thing.
Cody, there's a little echo for some reason. Hortensia, do you use your algebra on a daily basis?
Well, y equals mx plus b is the equation for a straight line.
Excuse me?
It's the equation for a straight line. That is how you calculate the slope of a line. You use y equals mx plus b. A linear equation. Okay, fine. Every time you walk a straight line, you are actually substantiating y equals mx plus b. Every time you travel from one point to another on whatever axis you're on, you're actually substantiating it. If you should ever want to calculate, you've never calculated what you were doing. Like, you're not sitting here counting your followers either. That doesn't mean you're not using them. You're just not quantifying it. Have you ever quantified how many times you smiled? No. You use your smile though, yes? Okay. So you use it. Your flights would not arrive where you thought they would if you weren't using it. You'd never make it from the choir loft to the pew if you weren't using it. You're just not quantifying it. Well, it's not your job to quantify, and that's fine, but you do use it. You're using the information even if you're not calculating it, and I feel like there's a lesson in there somewhere.
I mean, listen, the lesson is that was unexpected, but that's also a word. Tiberius says, anytime you have a budget and need to decide how many things of a price you can afford, you're using algebra. Okay, very good.
Every time you want a sale price, every time you're going, what is 25% off? You're using algebra.
Okay. Well, y'all got me together on that tonight. Let's move on to the next meme.
Try it again.
All right, now listen. I know I'm going to upset some people with this one, but this says, I'll get a house phone before I get an Android. I argue with people in my family all the time about the difference between iPhone and Android. And come on, Tiberius, come on now. About Android versus iPhone. So, Hortensia, are you an iPhone user? Are you team Android?
You already know my texts come to you in blue, so I don't even understand why we're even having this conversation.
The audience,
The audience does not know. I do use iPhone. I use iPhone because it links to my tablet. It links to my computer. So when I type a note on my phone, it is automatically on my tablet. It is automatically on my desktop. If I were to get an Apple Watch, which I have no intention of doing, when I was using the iPod, everything was synced. So if I should lose my phone, I'm not losing my contacts. I'm not losing my pictures. I didn't lose anything because it's already backed up on my desktop automatically. It's backed up on my tablet automatically because everything is in sync. I have an Android for my work phone. I've got the latest Galaxy, Samsung, something, something, whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're in the Apple ecosystem.
Right. And it's not like I'm not using an Android. I have one for work. As a data manager, I have an Android. Mm-hmm.
Cody, Team Android, Team Apple. Why are
I am Apple out. Is there still Apple available?
Yeah. Yeah.
We can still understand what you're saying.
But yeah, all the same. Like Hortensia, I have a Dell for work. But yeah, like it's the cross pollination for me. I don't need to be on this device, that device. Nah, I just need to be able to get to it.
I actually have a house phone, by the way. Because when there's a blackout, I don't need to charge my phone. I can call whomsoever I need to on my little house phone, but it's unplugged because I don't want nobody calling me on it.
I'm sure they're still doing house phones. Like I think it's foolish.
And it's $12 a month, so yes.
Very good. Very good. Some people still need house phones to get into their buildings.
Right. Yeah, no, I still have a house phone.
Yeah.
So,
okay, let's go. Let's roll to the next meme. Ooh, I love this one. It says, may you manifest someone who loves every ounce of, that's very churchy, every ounce of you.
The ounce.
The warrior, the submissive, the super loving, the sexy, the relaxed, the quiet, the talkative, the giving, the needy, the vulnerable, the sensitive, and the strong. The absolute whole, gorgeous being that you are. Thoughts?
until I do it for myself, until I love myself that way, I'm probably going to be blind to whoever else attempts to. I don't know that I'll recognize it. The less I love myself, the less I am able to recognize and receive love from others. The less, and the less authentic I can be. It's hard to be I don't know that I can be authentic without loving myself. Because I'm always trying to self-correct, but it's actually, I'm trying to be something else. And because I'm working on loving myself, like that is what the 2021 theme for the year, love in action, love in thought, love in environment. That is screaming at me that if I want anything remotely close to that, if I want solid friendships, if I want solid work relationships, if I want a solid romantic relationship, if I even want the potential of becoming who I need to be, that needs to be my goal for how I approach my relationship with myself.
Oh, that really speaks to me because it's easy to look at that and dream and fantasize about who that could be and what that would feel like. But if you're not even at the point where you can do all these things, maybe not all, but at least some of these things in this meme, if you can't see that about yourself, then I do agree that it would be extremely difficult to see, to recognize, and to let in someone that will love you that way.
I'm going to give a really concrete example. I may hear from someone, "Ooh, you fine." All right, he wants to sleep with me. All right, he's just saying whatever, whatever. Oh, I love your body. You have a beautiful body. Oh, I need to lose weight. I have all these reasons why my body's not beautiful. So of course it sounds like manipulation.
You can't believe it.
Of course it sounds like manipulation. How could someone actually be looking at me thinking Hortensia is gorgeous?
Yeah.
When Hortensia's looking at herself going, "Oh, the work I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the steps I need to take.
Mm-hmm.
All the things I need to do to make this even worthy of being looked at.
Mm-hmm.
All the stuff I need to cover up."
Yeah.
So it sounds like manipulation.
Yep.
I don't know how many genuine compliments I've disregarded as manipulation, as being polite, as being kind, as when the person was just genuinely telling me what they saw in me.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear that as, "Oh, you see me."
Yeah.
I heard it as something else.
Yep. I can completely identify with that, because there have been people that, and it makes me a little bit sick to think about it, but there have been people that have come into my life that have been perfectly wonderful, that have been ready to love, and that have been open. And it seems like the more open they are and the more ready they are to love, the more I push them away. And the more I'm asking myself, what's wrong with you? Like, can't you see all the things that are wrong with me? Can't you see, my body the way it is? And I will say, that as someone that's gone like up and down as far as weight is concerned, like when I was bigger, I would feel like, oh my God, nobody wants to see all this flab and blah, 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 blah. But then when I was skinny and I was pencil thin, I'd be like, oh, nobody wants to see this loose skin, blah, 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 blah. But on both ends of the spectrum, there have been people that have been like, what's up? Like, I'm with it. So I think the work is really self-love. Cody, you have any words for us?
I've been on this self-love journey, I think, for the past, I think, potentially say this kind of like the 2020 and so that manifestation for me is just like kind of potentially say, like, to me and for me. Like, I don't, I'm kind of good with hoarding or whatever, this external love that I get a lot of it. I love everybody loves me. But I just haven't shown up that way for myself ever. And so it's just a bit of a new journey.
Yeah. May we all, including our audience that's watching tonight, fall in love with ourselves a little bit more. I would love to recommend a book that my therapist recommended to me, and it's kind of been changing my life. It's called Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It by Kamal Ravikant. And it gives you specific things that you can do, exercises, mirror work, getting in the mirror, journal prompts, things like that, to help you get to the place where you're loving yourself. And as I love myself a little bit more, the things that don't fit in my life, the things that don't feel good, the things that are not supposed to be there are kind of falling away. Like, we think, oh my God, it's so hard to love ourselves. We got to do this and that and that and that. But when you just get still and you start to love yourself from a deep place, from that place grows all these things. And people have been reaching out to me that I haven't spoken to in years. When I walk into a bar, when I walk into a room, when I walk into a crowd, or just walking down the street, people interact with me differently because I'm beginning to feel a different kind of way about myself. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling to the next meme. Cody, is there anyone in the waiting room?
Nope.
Okay.
Hold on, we was trying to do some other stuff.
Is this number 4? Or number 5? I think it's 5.
It's 5. Yeah, 5.
Okay, good. This one says, if the version of you from 5 years ago could see you right now, they'd be so proud.
Ooh, can I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. 5 years ago. See my hand. My fingers. Yeah, just what we were just talking about. That whole self-love thing, it just wasn't there. And I had a lot of things to figure out. And I just finally started paying attention to myself and stop, going in with all these distractions. I call them well-intentioned distractions, right? But the distractions nonetheless.
So now you're on a different journey. You're on a new journey of self-love. And if the you from 5 years ago would say anything to the you today, what would he say?
If the me from 5 years ago could say something to me today.
Yeah, like if the you from 2016 or 17 saw you today, what do you think? Would he be surprised? Would he be like, yo, what would he say?
He'd be like, what? Wait a minute, what happened? What we giving? Wait a minute, what happened? But I think he'd be like, oh, but it would. I never thought 5 years ago that I would be just where I am in life. I never thought. So I think that guy would be genuinely, or let me say, pleasantly surprised.
Okay. Hortensia?
June of 2016, I was procrastinating about filling out my application for seminary. Meanwhile, people had already applied and gotten their acceptance like that January, and here it is June. May was when the idea was introduced to me, and I said, oh, well, maybe. And I started talking and praying and looking, and everything was lining up. But sitting down and filling it out and doing the FAFSA and making the commitment to go, that's where I was that June. And I had a lot of questions. Mm-hmm. The first time I had gone through seminary, I had to drop out because I tried to do a workaholic kind of track. I had 3 jobs and I was going to school full time, and I stopped singing and I stopped interacting with people and ended up on a lot of medications.
Okay.
So that was fresh in my mind. The last time you tried this, it was really ugly. You sure you won't do this again? The last time you did this, you made some really bad choices. You sure you want to do this again? Mm-hmm. And so to be on this side, the Hortensia from June 2016, she would want answers. How you do this? How'd you get here? What'd you do? What did you do? What did you do differently? How did you do it? And And we would probably have a good shout together.
Oh,
We would have a good shout, because I would say 2016 Hortensia, the same God that got you to 2016 is the same God that got me to 2021. Girl, we need a whole day to talk this thing. Sit down. Let me tell you about the God you've been serving. Still works. So yeah, that's we'd have a good, just raggedy shout. Some organ, some Hammond organ. So yeah, a good shout. Cause yeah,
Ooh.
shouldn't have happened. But
But God, huh? Well,
that
listen,
part.
the Bernard from 2016. If he saw me today, he honestly, truly would be proud. In the last 5 years, I've been through multiple heartbreaks. I've been through a lot of mental health struggles. I've been through exploring medication and therapy and all the things. But I think he would particularly be proud of the last 6 months, because I have been learning how to ask for what I want, to not be so compromising. I have learned how to respond as opposed to react. You know, when something happens, I'm ready to jump. I'm ready to jump in and say, oh my God, what is happening? How can I fix it? Or who I got to cuss out? But these days, as of late, I've really just been like, okay, let me take this in. I have a 24-hour rule. And so whenever something happens, I wait 24 hours, I meditate, I pray, and I'm like, okay, what's happening? Um, and I've been able to really shape my experiences differently. I've been able to access my anger. Usually I would be so afraid of my anger, like, oh, no, I would never, because I was taught that I was supposed to be so nice and accommodating. But no, sometimes we get angry, and sometimes that's okay. And sometimes anger and love exist in the same space. As a matter of fact, you know, they say that there's a thin line between love and hate. So they're really close together. And so how can you be in love with someone and you're never angry, you never get upset, or you never, like, I think I used to have a lot of relationships where there was no friction. And because I was always the one that was compromising and being like, you know, oh, whatever you want, whatever you want. But I think that that made it easier for people to devalue me. And I think that it made it easier for people to not respect me, because I wasn't showing my self-respect, right? But if I show up to a relationship and I'm able to be who I actually am and ask for what I actually need, and that person responds in a way that is favorable, or that person says, you know, this is something that I can or cannot do, at least we'll know, right? Whether this is friendship, relationship, whatever it is, at least we'll know what that thing is. And then I can believe them, because I'm showing you exactly who I am, and I'm showing you exactly what I need. And so I can kind of relax into that relationship instead of feeling like, oh God, I have to keep up this facade. Oh God, I have to keep up this positivity. Oh God, I have to keep taking care of you. No, I can relax and be like, no, I'm insecure, or today I'm feeling anxious, or today I'm feeling depressed, or whatever. But yeah, I think he would be super proud. Soup's proud. So Hortensia, we have gotten through our memes, and I want to ask you, have there been any updates in your life since you were on the show? What's happening in your world?
Updates. I am twiddling with the idea of creating a podcast. So I am looking through content, exploring options, etc. There's a book that's coming out. It's a book of poetry. It's in the pre-edit stage, in the final pre-edit stage, so the semi-final, whatever that is. But
Penultimate.
right. Thank you, penultimate. Yes.
Come on, big word.
Come on, bougie.
Use that word.
Yes, it's in the penultimate edit stage, and the beautiful thing is it's done. It's complete. So yeah, it needs to be edited, but the shape and the foundation of it's all there. But the self work has been continuing. probably if I listened to that episode that we did together, I would probably be ready to edit some of my statements because I've been doing my growth. One of the biggest things that I learned, I always thought that at some point I would be so healthy that I wouldn't need therapy anymore. And a big milestone was the healthier I am, the more I benefit from therapy.
Oh, okay.
And again, for the people in the back.
The healthier I am, the more I benefit from therapy. So when I am at my healthiest is when we're able to do the most work, which feels very paradoxical. It feels very counterintuitive, but that is what I'm noticing. And the more healing that I'm doing, the better my therapy sessions are, and the more I can dig up, the more I can release, the more I learn, the easier it is for me to access what's bothering me. This is still on my mind. This happened on Sunday and I'm still talking about it on Tuesday. Maybe this is something I need to explore because on the surface, it really doesn't feel like it's that big of a deal. A person has said to me, no, I was talking to somebody and then another person said, oh, just ignore her. If you ignore her, she will just shut up. You know, so that's what I do. And my first inclination was like, oh my God, what did they just do? I need to go crawl underneath a rock. And I was like, actually, no, I'm a big girl. I'm a whole grown woman. And I can answer this. So I turned to the person they were speaking to and I was like, actually, don't let anybody tell you about me. I'm here. I will tell you about myself. And that actually doesn't work. This is me, calm. She's saying I will calm down if you ignore me. This is calm. No one here has ever actually seen me excited because y'all can't handle my excitement. So this is my calm. Ooh. And I continued laughing and doing whatever. But that was on a Sunday, and by Tuesday in therapy, I was still thinking about it. And I'm like, if this was such a one-off, why is this bothering me? And one of the things that I dug up was when I was dealing with being suicidal, I always felt that people wanted me to not be around. I always felt that death was the ultimate silence. If you ignore her, she'll die, and she won't be here. And then we'll all be happy because she'll be gone. That's my trigger. She didn't say that. But what I need to know is I can't say, oh, I'm over being, oh, that's in my past. No, of a common joke from someone making a statement can be a trigger. That says, I need to be sensitive about what I absorb, and I need to be sensitive about what I speak. Because if I'm going to trigger somebody, let my affirmation trigger you. Let my love trigger you. Let my joy trigger you. But don't let me be telling someone else to ignore you. And then let that trigger you. Don't let me act like I wish you weren't there. And that's why you're triggered. No. Let my love be what triggers you. So I need to be really careful about what I'm saying because I don't know what someone else has been through. And I could be laughing about sunflowers, and that was something that is related to some big traumatic event in their life. Well, let me be laughing lovingly about sunflowers. Let me be safe. Let my words foster a safe space, or at least a safer space, as opposed to saying something that's negative, but hoping people take it as a joke.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. Cody, I wanted to ask you, what has your experience been like co-producing the Damon Speak Show?
Um, it's been great. You know, I met my therapist on this show.
Your ear, actually, I think the echo went away.
When I did.
I don't know if it's still there. It's fine. I was trying to figure out.
It's less though. It's less without the headphone. I think the mic on the headphone is doing some of the reverb.
Okay.
We living now with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Put it back in because I think better.
We didn't test this. This is surprise. That's why we gotta test that.
We're living live. This is
It's
live.
all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Sorry. Go ahead, Cody.
No, it's been great. I met my therapist on the show. You know, I started my self-love, self-care, you know, journey on this show. Like Bernard knows, like my nickname for him is Iyamba. And you know, it's been great. And at this point currently in my life, I think I finally figured it out. Like I got it. Like I know where the arch should end. And I gotta remember her tendency to when worry about the how. But I know what the thing is. I don't know. I just kind of show up every day and try to do what I do. I don't deal with the how, but that's been my experience from producing the show.
I love it. Hortensia, as we get ready to close this season 1 of the Damon Speaks show, do you have any words of exhortation? I mean, you've already exhorted us, child. I have been exhorted, okay? But do you have any words of encouragement or wisdom for us as we go through the summer, as we go through this break for the Damon Speaks show?
The journey is worth it. The journey is worth it. Those goals that look too high to reach, too far to arrive, too slow, that excellence that we think we can't attain, that it's worth the energy. It's worth it. It's worth it. Look back on what you now take for granted, how that used to be a goal. Look back on what you now take for granted, that you assume, you don't even think about it anymore. You know, I remember when I stuttered and I just prayed to speak one sentence without stuttering. Just one. Can I speak one sentence without stuttering? I'm on this thing and I just remembered I used to stutter. Those things, all the time it took for me to remember the breathing and the timing and it was worth the work. The waiting. I'm glad I went back to seminary. I thought I was crazy the second time too. Yeah, it was worth the work. Seminary was hell, period, new chapter. But it was worth the work. And it was worth the work. Not because I got a degree. Not because there's some letters behind my name. It was worth the work because the fire that was that matriculation process burned away things that could have taken me a lifetime to get rid of. But I had to get rid of them in order to get this paper done, in order to get that project complete, in order to figure out whatever that was. So sometimes these trials that I go through are it's like a speed process.
Yeah.
It's an acceleration of, you know what? It could take you 15 years doing it day by day, or I could put you through hell for 20 minutes. What you want? I'll take hell for 20 minutes, Jesus. And then, okay, and out. Flake off the ashes. Blow out the smoke. Lay in some ice water, and you're done. So I got out of seminary. I slept for a month, and I'm a whole different person. I needed that month's sleep though, but I think I needed 2 months sleep. But I'm better, and it was worth the journey. And so 1, it's worth the journey. 2, it is my experience that the enemy always goes 1 step too far. Always. So whatever the trial is that's blocking me, the enemy will go 1 step too far. And that last step is when I realize, wait a minute. Always. My victory is right after my worst loss. It's right after that. It's right after that. That's been my experience. The journey is worth it. And I can't lose but so long. I can't lose but so long. Because you know what? I'm going to bring it back to your first meme. Y equals mx plus b, but the planet is a circle. So I can go a straight line. And if I keep walking a straight line on the earth, what's going to happen? I'm going to come back around. Woo! I'm going to come back around. And after a while, my descent is going to become my ascent. No, I'm going to walk that straight line. And if I just continue, the enemy always takes it 1 step too far. Why did that girl say that to me on that Sunday? Why? I was doing fine. Had my little outfit. I was just ready. Bless her heart, she didn't even know. But I found out. Now I'm more mindful of my speech. I had an opportunity that even though I was feeling triggered, I didn't get into any kind of self-defensiveness or anything else like that. I stayed in a very healthy mindset. I dealt with it in therapy. I admitted that I had some question that I didn't yet have an answer to. I dug deeper, found out what I needed to know. And then, that still bothers me. Triggers are that simple. You don't have to say the word suicide. It can be something else.
Hey, Rebecca.
So yeah, those would be the 2 things. The journey is worth it, and the enemy always goes 1 step too far. Always. And that last step is the reason I win. If you had left me alone 2-3 steps ago, I might have stayed in that mess, or I might have stayed in that mediocrity. But that last step, now I'm winning again.
Oof. Oh, Cody, any final words for the audience as we end this season 1? Yes. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. Rebecca says happy season finale.
Rebecca Hargrove.
This Rebecca's Cummings Scales. Do you know?
I'll have to go back to this echo.
Okay.
This question, we was trying to produce things.
What'd you say?
What was the question?
Oh, the question was, do you have any final words for the audience? Any words of encouragement or anything, or just anything to leave us with as we end season 1?
I think this is a time that we should all lean into the idea that life is short. And, we just don't have a lot of time for like foolishness and inauthenticity and trying to keep up appearances and everything. We really don't have time for that. Like if 2020 didn't show me nothing else, these people were getting out of here. And any one of us listening, you know, like it could have been us. You know, it's just like life is short, and figure out what you love and just do that, and then whatever else will just fall in place.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you, Hortensia, for showing up tonight, for being the first and the last, huh? The Alpha and the Omega. In the Speak Show. Thank you, Cody, for being my co-producer and taking us to the next level with technology and the visuals. I really appreciate it. And to you, my viewers, and to you, my friends, thank you. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support, for your likes, for your shares, for your subscriptions, for all the things. I've been through a tough time. You know, my YouTube channel was growing and growing and growing, and then that was taken away. So now we're on another YouTube channel, which is growing, but just not at the same pace. But I'm counting it all joy.
Amen.
When I enter into diverse temptations and when I enter into things that could bring me down, I'm choosing to see another path. I'm choosing to see another way. I'm choosing to be positive. I'm choosing to hold on to my faith. Faith without works is dead. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, the things that I can't even see yet, but I feel are coming. Get ready for season 2. We'll come back in October, having had a little bit of rest. There are going to be some new elements of the show, maybe new ways that you can consume the show. But I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I think we can roll the credits. I love y'all. See you in October.
Bye.